Hi students, in this video I am going to explain about how to draw the root locus for the given system. Let's see the question here. Sketch the root locus plot for the given unity feedback system whose open loop transfer function is given by g of s h of s is equals to k into s plus 1.5 divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 5. So this is the given open loop transfer function. Here h of s is 1 because we have the unity feedback here. So let me move on the step 1. So if we see the step 1, what is the step 1 is to find location of poles and zeros. So from the given transfer function, the numerator factors represents the zeros and denominator factors represents the poles. So the number of zeros and it denoted by small m is equals to 1. The number of poles, it is denoted by small n and it should be 3. So total number of asymptotes n minus m equals to 3 minus 1, that is 2. So this is the number of zeros and poles from the given transfer function. Now we'll see that what are the poles and what are the zeros we have. Zeros, z1 is equals to minus 1.5 and so these are the zeros. Poles, let me see the poles. P1 equals to 0, P2 equals to minus 1, P3 equals to minus 5. So this is the zeros and poles. So totally we have the 4 roots, and by using these 4 roots we have to draw the root locus plot. So this is the step 1. Let's move on to the step 2, that is to find root locus. So how we can find the root locus means based on the poles and zeros, and based on the test point consideration, and based on the how many roots, that is poles or zeros towards the origin, like that. So we can find that root locus. So let me see the let me draw the graph here. And represents the poles and zeros in the graph. So the first pole is 0, that is situated at origin. So it is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 and minus 5 here, right? And second so pole 1 is over, so here I represented here, and P2 is minus 1 and P3 is minus 5. So these are the 3 poles. So poles should be represented by the cross mark. And next one is 0 is minus 1.5. So minus 1.5 should be like located here. Z1 equals to minus 1.5. So these are the poles and zeros. So one is 1, 2, 3 are poles, and this one is 0 at minus 1.5. Now how we can find the root locus means so if you choose a test point between 0 and minus 1. So if you choose test point between 0 and minus 1, then when we look back to the right side towards the origin, so we have only one pole. So this is the test point. If you look back to the right side, there is only one pole is located here. So 1 is an odd number. So that's why in between the root these 2 poles, root locus will be available. So we have to draw like this by the dark line. So this is the root locus 1. Next what we have to do means, let consider a test point between -1 and -1.5. So if you consider a test point between these two, that is -1 and -1.5, so here you can consider as a test point. When you look back to the right side, we have 1 2, so 2 is an odd number, so there is no chance to get the root locus in between -1 and -1.5. so here root locus will be possible, here root locus is not possible. Let me see that next. Let's consider a test point between -1.5 and -5. See here, in between -1.55, so you can I am consider here. When we look back to the right side, we have we have when we consider the test point in between the -1.5 and 5, we have 1 2 3, so 3 is an odd number, so that's why there is a chance to get the root locus between these two. So out of 3, we have 2 root locus. One is between the 0 and -1, another one between the -1.5 to -5. Now let me move on to the step 3, that is to find angle of asymptotes and centroid. So already you know that a formula for angle of asymptotes, that is A equals to plus or minus 180 degrees TQ plus 1 divided by n minus m. So here how we can represent the q value is, so q should be start from 0 1 2 and 1 n minus m. So already we have n minus m value 2, right? So you can consider the q value 0 comma 1 comma 2. So with respect to the q, all q values, we have to find that angle of asymptotes. So let me see that first, when q is equals to 0, so what will become a? Let me see, plus or minus 180 degrees, 2 into 0 should be 0 and it is 1 divided by 2, so you will get plus or minus 90 degrees. So this is the angle of asymptotes when q is equals to 0. Next, when q is equals to 1, a equals to plus or minus 180 degrees, 3 divided by 2, 3 9, yeah. So you will get plus or minus 270 degrees. So already I said when the angles is more than 1, so actually in protractor, so actually in protractor we have only 0 to 180 degrees, right? So now we got the angle is more than the 180 degrees. So at that time what we have to do means we have to subtract from this 270 to minus 360. So if you do this 270 minus 360, so it should be minus 90, so minus plus 90 degrees. So this is the already we got that 4 angles. So if for drawing the angle of asymptotes, 4 angles is enough. There is no need to proceed under q value, that is q is equals to 2. So until we will stop for angle of asymptotes. Now let me see that centroid. So already know that a centroid formula, that is sum of poles minus sum of zeros divided by n minus m. So sum of poles means we have the 3 poles, right? 0 minus 1 minus 5. So 0 minus 1 minus 5 minus of sum of zeros means we have only one zero, that is minus 1.5, minus 1.5 divided by n minus m. So n minus m is 2. So we will get minus 1 minus 5 minus plus 1.5 divided by 2. So minus 2.3. So this is the centroid equals to minus 2.3. Now let me move on to the step 4, that is to find the breakaway point and the break-in point. Point and break-in point. So for finding this breakaway point and break-in point, we had to consider that closed loop transfer function, that is g of s divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s. Here the denominator represents the characteristic equation. So let me write that characteristic equation here. So 1 plus g of s h of s equals to 0. So already we have the g of s equals to k into s plus 1.5 divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 5, and h of s equals to 1 because we have the unity feedback system. Now substitute these two here. 1 plus k into s plus 1.5 divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 5 into 1 equals to 0. If you cross multiply this one, you will get s into s plus 1 s plus 5 plus k s plus 1.5 equals to 0. So k into s plus 1.5 equals to minus of s into s plus 1 into s plus 5. So finally we will get k equals to minus of s square plus s plus 5 divided by s plus 1.5. Again if you expand the numerator, what you will get means minus of s cubed plus 5s square plus s square plus 5s divided by s plus 1.5. So finally k equals to minus of s cubed plus 6s square plus 5s divided by s plus 1.5. Represent it is equation 1. Now what we have to do means we have to differentiate this k equation with respect to s, and it should be equating to the 0. So that is can be represented as dk by ds is equals to 0. So we have to differentiate this k equation with respect to 0, respect to s, and it should be equating to the 0. Now so this is it is in the form of u by v. Already we know that the differentiation of u by v, you can write how we can write means v into u dash minus v dash into u divided by v square. So this is the differentiation of u by v. So for differentiation of u by v method, you have to represent like this. So here the numerator represents u and denominator represents v. So if you this one you can write, if you write this one means minus of v into u dash. So minus of so this is v, right? S plus 1.5. So minus keep here minus, and if you differentiate this one, what you will get 3s square plus 12s plus 5 minus v dash. V dash means denominator. So you will get 1 into u. So that is minus of s cubed plus 6s square plus 5s divided by s plus 1.5 whole square, and it is equals to 0. So if you expand this equation, what you will get, so it should be cross multiply, then it is equals to the 0. So finally you will get minus of s plus 1.5 3s square plus 12s plus 5 minus minus bit plus s cubed plus 6s square plus 5s. So if you expand this equation, so this is common for both, minus of 3s cubed plus 12s square plus 5s plus 4.5 s square minus 18s minus 7.5 plus s cubed plus 6s square plus 5s equals to 0. So when you multiply that minus to all terms, so here plus will come, minus 3s square minus 12s cubed minus 12s square minus 5s minus 4.5 s square minus 18s minus 7.5 plus s cubed plus 6s square plus 5s equals to 0. So finally when you simplify this equation, you will get minus 2s cubed minus 10.5 s square minus 18s minus 7.5 equals to 0. Now if you take the 2 minus 2 common here, s cubed plus 5.25 s square plus 9s plus 3.75 equals to 0. Finally we will obtain the equation s cubed plus 5.25 s square plus 9s plus 3.75 equals to 0. Now we have to find the roots for this equation, that is s1 and s2 s3. After this s1 s2 s3, if you substitute in equation k, if the k value should get a real positive real, then that point is termed as a breakaway point. If you not get that positive real, then it is not called as a breakaway point. Okay na? And now let me see that how to find the this type of. So generally already we know that when the equation represents the third order, fourth order, what we have to do, first of all we have to substitute s equals to 1 and let you check that whether it is equals to 0. So if it is equals to 0, that number is called as a root of that equation, but here it is in the form of point digits points. So in this type of equation we can't able to find the roots by using the normal method. So that's why for this type of equation, how we can find the roots means by using Lin's method. So by using this method we can find that roots for this type of equation. So we're having the decimal point, that is 2.5, like so where the point should be there, then we can find the roots for that equation by using Lin's method. So it is a trial method. So by using this method we can when we will get the least number, then that factor is called as root of that this equation. Let me move on to the next step. Now to find the roots of s cubed plus 5.25 s square plus 9s plus 3.75 equals to 0 by Lin's method. So by using Lin's method we had to choose the last two terms of polynomial has considered for trial 1. So why we are using only last two means, so this is the third order system. For third order system we have to consider that last two numbers. For fourth order we have to consider that last three numbers, like that. So for first try we have to consider that last two terms, that is 9s plus 3.5. So 9s plus 3.75 equals to 0. So now what we have to do means, we have to make this equation in terms of s plus. So for that I am going to division of this equation with respect to the 9. So if you divide this equation with respect to 9, what you will get? S plus 3.75 divided by 9 equals to 0. So 3.759 is 0.4. So s plus 0.4 equals to 0. Now what we have to do means, we have to divide this equation with respect to the s plus 0.4. So it should be, so it is s plus 4. So here s cubed plus 5.25 s square plus 9s plus 3.75. Now we have to cancel that each and everything. So if you, how we can get what term we can get s cubed by multiplying s, so by with respect to the s square. So s into s square is s cubed plus 4 into s square, 4s square. So if you subtract here, if you apply the minus, both will get cancelled, and 4.25 minus 4, that is 1.25 s square plus 9s plus 3. So sorry, this is 0.4, right? So you will get 0.4 s square. So 5.25 minus 0.4, 4.9, 4.9 s square plus 9s plus 3.75. Now you have to cancel this term. How we can cancel it? By multiplying s by 4.9s. So here I am putting 4.9s. Now what you will get? S into 4.9s is 4.9 s square plus 0.4 into 4.9. So you will get 2. That is 2s. If you applying the minus, both will get cancelled. Here you will get 7s plus 3.75. So now we have to cancel the s term, that is 7s. How we can get 7? By multiplying 7. So s into 7 is 7s plus 0.4 into 7, 0.4 into 7, 2.8. If you apply the minus, both get cancelled. 3.75 minus 2.8, so approximately 1. So until how many tiles we have to do means, this value should be least value. So it is approximately 0 but not equals to 0. So approximately means you have to get that 0.01. So it should be less than the 0.1. So until you have to proceed this trial methods. So here we are getting the highest value, that is 1. So we have to go for trial 2 again. So in trial 2 what we have to do? So for trial 2, so for trial 2 we have to consider this equation. So that is 7s plus 3.75 equals to 0. So already said this equation should be in the form of s. So if you divide by 7 you will get 0. So 3.75 divided by 7, so you will get 0.5. So s plus 0.5 equals to 0. Now again what we did in trial 1, the same thing we had to do here. So s plus 0.5 s cubed plus 5.25 s square plus 9s plus 3.75. So first thing is you had to eliminate the s cubed term here. So how we can eliminate s cubed? When s is multiplied by the s square. So I'm multiplying this term by s square. We get s cubed plus 0.5 s square. If you apply the minus, both will get cancelled. Next 5.25 minus 0.5, 4.8 s square plus 9s plus 3.75. So again we have to eliminate this 4.8 s square term. So it should be multiplied by that 4.8 s, then 4.8 s square plus 4.8 into 0.5. So you will get a 2.4 s minus 9 minus 2.4, 6.6 s plus 3.75. So again we have to eliminate this 6.6 term. So then we have to multiply this by 6.6. So 6.6 s plus 6.6 into 0.5, 3.3. If you subtract here 3.75 minus 3.3, so you will get 0.5. So again it shows that higher value. So what is it? The value, the value coming here, it should be least value. So it is approximately nearer to the 0, like 0.01, 0.02. So it is 2 decimals value, but here we obtain that 0.5. So what we have to do, we go for next trial, that is trial 3. Now we will go for trial 3. So here we have to consider this term, that is 6.6s plus 3.75 equals to 0, and it should be makes as a in terms of s. So we have to divide this equation by 6.6. What is s? 3.75 divided by 6.6 equals to 0. So if you simplify this one, you will get 3.75 divided by 6.6, so 0.6. s plus 0.6 equals to 0. So now this is the characteristic equation. So this equation should be divided by the s plus 0.6. So let me see what will come. S plus 0.6, and characteristic equation is s cubed plus 5.25 s square plus 9s plus 3.75. Again we have to eliminate that first term, that is s cubed. How we can eliminate? By multiplying with respect to s square. S into s square, s cubed plus 0.6 into s square, 0.6 s square. If you subtract, s cubed will get cancelled. 5.25 minus 0.6, 4.7, 4.7 s square plus 9s plus 3.75. Now again we have to eliminate this 4.7 s square. So we have to multiply this equation, this term, with respect with the 4.7 s. So s into 4.7 s is 4.7 s square plus 4.7 into 0.6, you will get 2.8 s. If you subtract here, both will get cancelled. 9 minus 2.8, 6.2. 6.2s plus 3.75. Again we have to eliminate this term, so we have to multiply this term with respect to the 6.2. So what you will get, 6.2s plus 6.2 into 0.6, so 3.7. And then so when you subtract you will get 0.05. so here we obtain the least value, it is less than the 0.1. So here it is less than 0. So we can consider that this is the least value. So when we obtain the least value, when s plus s plus 0 ante s plus 06, it is divided to the s cube plus 5.25 square plus 9s. So until now we stop the trial methods. So now s cubed plus 5.25 s square plus 9s plus 3.75. This is the chaotic equation, that is the equation of k. So after differentiation of k we got this equation. Now this equation can be written as s plus 6 0.6 into s square plus 4.7 s plus 6.2. so you can convert this equation like this by using Lenz's method. So here already we obtained that one root, that is s equals to minus 0.6. now we have to obtain that roots for this equation. Let me see how we can check that equations here. The polynomial s cubed plus 5.25 s square plus 9s plus 3. So this is the equation we obtained by dk by ds, that is the differentiation of k with respect to s. After that we found this one. So after finding this one we have to find the roots for this equation, that is s1 s2 s3. So in general method we can't able to find the root for the equation. That's why we solve equation for finding the roots by using Lenz's method. After Lenz's method, for using different tiles, tile 1, tile 2, tile 3, finally we obtained equation like this. So here one of the out of 3 we obtained one of the root, that is s equals to minus 0.6. now again we had to obtain that remaining 2 roots for this equation from this equation. So if you have see this equation here, a equals to 1, b equals to 4.7 and c equals to 6.2. So by using the roots equation, that is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So if we substitute here 4.7 whole square plus or minus square root of 4.7 whole square minus 4 into 1 into 6.2 divided by 2. 4.7 square 22.1 plus or minus 22.1 minus 4 into 6.2 24.8 divided by 2. So here minus b only, right? 4.7 4.7 plus or minus 22 minus 1 minus 24.8, you get minus 2.7. if you apply the root for this, so you will get that imaginary value. So j 1.6 divided by 2. So you can write, so already we got s1 equals to minus 0.6, s2 can be written as 4.7 by 2, 2.4 plus j 0.8. similarly s3 equals to 2.4, so minus 2.4 minus j 0.8. So this is the remaining 2 roots we have to. So finally we have that 3 roots, and these 3 roots should be substituted in the k equation. So let me consider when s1 equals to minus 0.6, So we had to substitute k. So what is the k equation? So k equation is this one. So minus of s cubed plus 6s square plus 5s divided by s plus 1.5. If you substitute instead of s by minus 0.6, let me see what you will get. K equals to minus of minus 0.6 whole cube plus 6 into minus 0.6 whole square plus 5 into minus 0.6 divided by minus 0.6 plus 1.5. So k equals to minus of minus 0.6 whole cubed minus 0.2 plus minus 0.6 whole square into 6. So minus 2.2 minus 5 into 0.6 3 divided by minus 0.6 plus 1.5 0.9. So minus 0.2 minus 2.2 minus 3 divided by 0.9 into minus 1. So finally we get 6 here. So if you see that you after substituting this s1 equals to minus 0.6, we obtained a positive real. So now s1 should call as a breakaway point. Now if so when you see that s2 and s3 in the form of complex conjugate, if you substitute these two in this equation, in this case, you will get that complex conjugate. So whatever breakaway point condition, the k value should be positive real, so it should not negative real, should not in complex conjugate. So if you substitute s2 s3, you will get definitely k value is in complex conjugate. So that's why after verification that finally the breakaway point is minus 0.6. So to find the angle of departure and angle of arrival, the roots should be roots are in complex conjugate. So roots may be poles or zeros, but in this problem we got the roots, that is zeros and poles, all are should be real values. So in this way, in this method, we can't there is no need to find this angle of departure and angle of arrival. So no need to find this angle of departure and angle of arrival, because these roots are the roots of this question is are in real values. Now step 6, to find crossing point on imaginary axis. Now we have to consider that characteristic equation. Let's consider the characteristic equation. That is 1 plus g of s h of s equals to 0. So after substituting 1 plus g of s h of s, you will get equation s cubed plus 6s square plus 5s plus ks plus 1.5 k equals to 0. Now substitute s equals to j omega in above equation. You will get s j omega whole cube plus 6 into j omega square plus 5 into j omega plus k into j omega plus 1.5 k equals to 0. Now he is separating real terms and imaginary terms. First we can separate imaginary terms. So imaginary terms you will get minus j omega cubed plus j 5 omega plus j k omega equals to 0. So minus j omega cubed equals to minus j 5 omega plus k omega. J get cancelled. So if these two terms come when comes to in this side, you will get minus j is common for both. So after eliminating this minus j on both sides, omega cubed omega take common 5 plus k. So omega cancel. Omega square equals to 5 plus k. Now we have to find that k value here. Now equating the real parts. So if you equating the real parts, what you will get? Minus 6 omega square plus 1.5 k equals to 0. So substitute omega square value here, that is 5 plus k, minus 6 5 plus k plus 1.5 k equals to 0, minus 30 minus 6k plus 1.5 k equals to 0, minus 4.5 k equals to 30, k equals to minus 6.67. So here we obtain the k value is minus 6.67. So generally what is the main intention of k? So k denotes that stability condition of a given system. So the stability condition, for the stability condition, the k value is always must and should the positive value. So here we obtain that negative value. So it means that when the k value becomes some negative, there is no breakaway and breaking point presented in the root locus plot. So here there is no need to find that crossing point on the imaginary axis. Why? Because the k value we obtained minus, that is negative value. So so now the steps all is over. Now we go for graph. How will we draw the graph? By using the given calculated data already we seen previously. See here, this is the graph we finally found it. The first step we determined the location of poles and zeros, right? So this is the first pole, that is p1 equals to 0. This is the second pole, that is p2 equals to minus 1. This is third pole, that is p3 equals to minus 5, and there is only one zero that is located at minus 1.5. So this is the first step. So first step is to locate the poles and zeros on the real axis. Now we have to check the root locus. So if you choose the test point between these 2 points, that is 0 and minus 1, when we see the right side, there is only one pole here. So 1 is an odd number. That's why there is a root locus should be available in between these 2 poles. Next one is, if we choose a test point between minus 1 and minus 1.5, when we look back to the right side, it has the 2 poles. So 2 is an even number. That's why there is in between the minus 1.5 minus 1, there is no root locus. Now if you choose the test point between that minus 1.5 and minus 5, if you choose that if you see the right side, the number of poles and zeros 1 2 3, so 3 is an odd number. That's why in between minus 1.5 to minus 5 there is a root locus printed here. So we have to represent root locus by the dark line. So this is the root locus 1 and it is the root locus 2. So in between minus 1.5 minus 1, there is no root locus. Now next step is centroid. So centroid, where we found minus 2.5. So minus 2.25. So sorry. So minus 2.25. So here we had the centroid here, and angle of asymptotes we found 2. The when q is equals to 0 plus or minus 90 degrees, when q is equals to 1 minus plus 90 degrees. So how we can draw? So while keeping the protractor on the centroid midpoint, if you draw the 90 degrees, it should be in vertical line. So the upper line belongs to the plus 90 degrees and lower line. So you have to draw the negative angle by keeping a protractor like this. So 90 degrees. Now breakaway point. So breakaway point, we found that when s equals to minus 0.6, k should be positive, right? we obtain the positive real, so that's why minus 0.6 should be located here. And so this is the breakaway point. So here there is no crossing points on the imaginary, so you have to draw like a line like this, and this line and angle of asymptotes both should be parallel. Suppose if you have any point on the imaginary axis like a crossing point, your line should be like this, here from here to should be like సో ఈ విధంగా వచ్చేదానికి ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. సో మనకు క్రాసింగ్ పాయింట్స్ లేవు కాబట్టి ఈ విధంగా అంటే యాంగిల్ ఆఫ్ అసిమ్ప్టోట్స్కి ప్యారలల్గా వచ్చే విధంగా డ్రా చేయాలి. ఓకేనా. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ద వే ఆఫ్ టు ఫైండింగ్ దట్ రూట్ లోకస్ ప్లాట్ ఫర్ ద గివెన్ ఓపెన్ లూప్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఫంక్షన్ విత్ యూనిటీ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.